The card got declined. Not at some fancy restaurant, at a gas station. $7.40 worth of fuel, and the machine just said no. The person standing there didn't look homeless. They were wearing clean clothes, driving a decent car, had a job they went to every single day. But in that moment, with people waiting behind them in line, they felt something that money can't fix and pride can't hide. The quiet, crushing shame of being broke. This video is about that person, and the 9 others just like them. Because broke doesn't look the way you think it does, and one of these 10 types might be sitting closer to home than you're ready to admit. The first type is the payday prisoner. Every month runs the same play. Paycheck lands. Within 48 hours, it's already allocated. Rent, minimum card payment, car insurance, groceries. Nothing left. No cushion, no breathing room. And the worst part isn't the math. It's the feeling of watching money disappear before you even got to hold it. Like being handed something beautiful and having to give it back before you could enjoy it. These people aren't reckless. They aren't lazy. They're trapped inside a cycle that was never designed to let them out, running on a treadmill that moves just fast enough to keep them exactly where they are. The second type is the maxed out optimist. They don't feel broke because the card still works. Barely, but it works. The balance sits at $5,200 on a $5,500 limit, and they'll still swipe it for a $44 purchase and feel relief instead of terror. "I'll pay it down next month," has been their monthly prayer for a year straight. Meanwhile, the interest compounds quietly in the background like a leak in the ceiling. Small, easy to ignore, until one day the whole thing caves in. The dangerous thing about this type isn't the debt. It's the optimism that keeps them from feeling the weight of it until it's too heavy to lift. The third type is the status broke, and this one hurts to watch. New car, nice apartment, fresh outfit every weekend. Their Instagram looks like a life you'd want. But open the banking app and the reality is brutal. No savings, no investments, sometimes not even $400 available for an emergency. Every dollar earned goes right back out the door in exchange for an image. And the cruelest irony? They're bankrupting themselves for an audience that doesn't actually care, buying approval from people they don't even respect, performing wealth for a crowd that's too distracted by their own performance to notice. The loneliest kind of broke is the kind you have to dress up every single day. The fourth type is the talented broke, and this one is the most heartbreaking one on this entire list. This person is genuinely gifted. They can write, design, cook, sell, create, sometimes better than people charging 10 times what they charge. But they're scared. Scared that if they ask for what they're worth, the answer will be no. So they undercharge. They give it away. They apologize for having a price at all. And years pass. The talent stays real. The bank account stays empty. Because broke isn't always about ability. Sometimes it's about the story you've been telling yourself about what you deserve. The fifth type is the emergency broke. Things were holding together, tight but together. Then one thing happened. The transmission gave out. The hospital sent a bill. The company announced layoffs. One single unexpected punch, and the whole financial house of cards came down. Because there was never any margin, never any buffer, never any room for life to be imperfect. Now they're borrowing from family, burning through whatever credit is left, working doubles just to crawl back to zero. This type isn't defined by bad decisions. They're defined by a system built with absolutely no forgiveness in it. The sixth type is the forever student. Another course, another certification, another degree that's going to make everything finally make sense. Except it never does, because learning has quietly become hiding. At some point, more preparation stops being responsible and starts being terrified. The world doesn't need another credential from them. It needs them to start. But starting means risking failure, and failure means the story they've been building about themselves might fall apart. So they stay in school, where they're still safe, still almost ready, still promising themselves that next semester everything changes.
The seventh type is the generous broke, the person everyone calls when they need help, and the person no one thinks to call when they're the one drowning.
They'll cover dinner when they can't afford their own. They'll send money to a family member while their own account goes negative. They'll say yes when every honest number in their life is screaming no. This comes from love, real, deep, genuine love. But love without limits isn't generosity. It's self-destruction dressed up in something beautiful. Nobody who keeps taking from them is losing a single night of sleep over it. The eighth type is the lottery mindset broke. They're not building because they're waiting for the right moment, the business idea that blows up overnight, the investment that multiplies by the end of the week, the opportunity that finally falls from the sky and changes everything without requiring them to change anything first. Slow, boring, unglamorous progress physically repels them, so they stay exactly where they are, one viral scheme away from the life they want, while actual wealth is built quietly every single day by people who never needed it to feel exciting. The ninth type is the almost made it broke, and this one silently destroys people from the inside out. They got close, a business that was gaining traction before it collapsed, an investment that looked perfect before the market shifted, a deal that fell apart on the 1-yard line. And now they live backward, in the past tense, retelling the story of what almost happened, more than they're building anything new. Almost made it becomes an identity, a reason, a permanent explanation for why they're still here, still stuck, still waiting for the right story to tell instead of writing a different one. And the 10th, the most common, the most comfortable, and the most dangerous of all, is the comfortable broke. This person is not in crisis. Nothing is on fire. The bills are paid, the fridge is full, the life looks fine from the outside and feels fine from the inside. And that's exactly the problem. Comfortable doesn't save anything. Comfortable doesn't build anything. Comfortable is just still wearing a friendlier face. And one day, not today, not this year, but one day, they'll sit down and realize that fine was never actually fine. It was just the slowest possible way to end up with nothing, dressed up as peace of mind. Here's what nobody says out loud after a video like this. Broke is not a personality flaw. It is not proof that you are less. For most people, it is the completely predictable result of a system that was never designed to teach you how money actually works. But here's what's also true. Awareness is the first exit. The moment you name which type you are, you stop being a passenger. Because the most dangerous person in all 10 of these categories isn't the one who's struggling. It's the one who finishes this video, recognizes themselves completely, and then closes the tab and changes absolutely nothing. Don't be that person.